Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you enjoy long, story-driven deep dives into the real lives behind your favorite shows, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tap the join button to support the channel. Today we're focusing on two names who carried an entire season with a look, a pause, and a kind of honesty that's hard to fake, Gökberk Yildirim and Cemre Arda. Their series, Reuniting, is counting down to its final episode, but the conversation around them is only getting louder. The on-screen thunder may be fading, off-screen, the barometer is dropping fast. Let's unpack what's ending, what might be beginning, and why a rumor about salt air and turquoise water has the fandom working overtime. First, the goodbye no one wanted to say. Reuniting wasn't just a weekly appointment, it was a rhythm. Audiences built their schedules around it, learned to read micro-expressions the way others read subtitles, and started tracking each character's breathing like music cues. None of that happens unless the leads make you believe that what they feel matters. From episode 1, Gökberk and Cemre didn't push to sell chemistry, they let it happen at the edges, how he stepped back half a pace to leave her the emotional foreground, how she softened a line just enough to make space for his answer. Viewers caught that language and never let it go. The final stretch of filming brought the usual whirlwind, long days, weather gambles, tricky night exteriors, and the kind of late-stage rewrites that test everyone's discipline. Crew members noticed something subtle in the middle of that controlled chaos. Gökberk and Cemre started protecting each other's focus. He'd run lines facing away from the crowd to keep her eye line clear, she'd redirect a makeup note to save him a reset. To outsiders, that looks like professionalism. To anyone who's ever carried a story beat across months of shooting, it can also look like trust turning into intimacy. Did that shift stay on set, or did it follow them home? That's where the current storm began. As the wrap party glitter settled, whispers surfaced about a decision, quiet, private, and very deliberate, to step out of city noise and into the kind of silence only the ocean can keep. The word Maldives floated up not through a press release, but through the little crumbs fans are famous for turning into a roadmap. Within hours of each other, both Gökberk and Cemre followed two boutique resort accounts known for overwater villas and lagoon-level sunsets. A day later, Cemre uploaded what looked like a rehearsal room still life, script pages, highlighter, a glass of water, except that the light wasn't the light of Istanbul. It had the kind of high noon bite you get in the tropics. Gökberk posted nothing but a time-lapse of clouds moving across a horizon that, if you watched closely, never revealed a skyline. The fandom moved like a hive mind. Someone found a reflection of a palm crown in a window frame, someone else matched the pattern of decking to a pier design used in Indian Ocean properties. A travel agency visitor log circulated, naming no names, but listing outbound inquiries for two people, late Sunday, flexible return. On X and Instagram, the phrases decompression trip, soft launch, and post-wrap reset began trading places with hard launch when, and we want the beach photo. The engine of speculation started and hasn't cooled since. Is there truth under the detective work? Let's talk motives. Productions like Reuniting ask for everything: body clocks, emotional reserves, and the constant risk of playing close to feelings you don't want to take home. When that ends, the abrupt silence can be as loud as the weeks before. Some actors fill the space with another project. Others, especially when a partnership has been as visible as this one, take a different route: distance. Not distance from each other, distance from everyone else. A seaplane, a deck that doesn't hear sirens, a phone that loses interest in notifications. It isn't a spectacle, it's a strategy. The goal isn't to be seen. The goal is to remember who you are when you aren't playing anyone. If you look at Gökberk's public habits, a brief disappearance fits. He has never been a daily poster. He chooses moments, not momentum. Cemre, meanwhile, curates images that imply without declaring, captions that can read like stage directions. If they were to step out together, it would likely be the opposite of a red carpet rollout. No matching robes by an infinity pool, no sponsored tags. More likely, a single frame that means a lot to them and very little to the algorithm, a blurred hand in late afternoon light, a shadow across a deck, a coffee cup with a second cup just out of frame. Fans will see it immediately. Everyone else will scroll past. That balance is the point. Of course, a vacation rumor is only half the story. The other half is work. Agents on both sides have been fielding offers since the week the finale date went public. A period romance for a streaming platform wants Gökberk for a lead who ages 5 years across 8 episodes. A contemporary character drama aims to showcase Cemre's low-volume intensity, scripts that rely on the kind of stillness she does better than most. There's also industry pressure to reunite them fast. When a pair threads the needle like they did, producers see numbers, not nuance. Bring them back, keep the audience, hold the advertisers. That logic is efficient, it can also be wrong. What made them special on Rüzgarlı Tepe wasn't that they were together, it was that they were right for those characters in that world at that time. Repeating the packaging won't automatically repeat the magic. That's why the whispered retreat makes sense. If Gökberk and Cemre plan to work together again, and there are directors who would build a slate around the possibility, they'll need distance from the version of themselves that the show crystallized. Space to let the old cadences fall away so a new rhythm can emerge. If they don't plan to partner soon, the same space protects their separate trajectories from being flattened into the couple narrative. Either way, the trip, if it's real, is less a getaway than a guardrail. Let's talk about the fans, because your role here is bigger than you think. You aren't just viewers, you're readers of behavior. You turned a 2-second off-camera glance into a thesis on character motivation. You taught yourself to spot the difference between a publicity smile and a private relief. You know when a caption sounds like the actor and when it sounds like a manager. That literacy keeps the industry honest. It also comes with responsibility. Pursuing answers across time zones and reflections is exhilarating. But the best stories, especially the ones still being written, need air. When the urge to know everything shows up, sit with the reason why the show made you feel seen. That's no small thing. Protect the feeling by giving the people who gave it to you a little room. There's also a practical layer that rarely makes it to the front page: contracts. Some productions include clauses addressing off-screen relationships between leads, not as morality plays, but as risk management. If personal dynamics derail schedules, penalties apply. If public drama drives sponsor anxiety, damage control takes time the show doesn't have. Whether or not anything like that exists in this case, it explains the radio silence that follows a big finish. NDAs don't care about romance. They care about deliverables. The cleaner the wrap, the cleaner the path to the next job. So where does that leave Gökberk and Cemre today? Somewhere between a long exhale and a first step. Maybe they're packing, maybe they've already gone, maybe they're still hovering over the "book now" button while they check one last calendar line. The destination might be the Maldives, it might be a quieter coast that doesn't trend every summer. What matters is less the latitude and more the intention, to trade applause for the sound of water, marks on the floor for footprints on sand, call sheets for nothing in particular. You can't measure that in likes. You feel it in the way the work returns: looser shoulders, steadier eyes, choices that surprise even the actor. For those asking about the finale, prepare for a goodbye that honors the hours you gave. Word from people who've seen an internal cut is that the last episode trusts the audience. Fewer speeches, more faces. A closing image that answers the question you didn't know you had. And at least one moment where Gökberk and Cemre do what they've done best all season: hold silence long enough to let meaning rise by itself. If you've loved their craft, you'll feel satisfied. If you've fallen for the rumor of a future together, you'll read the last shot as a promise. Before we wrap, a note to the two people at the center of all this: should it reach them, you made a show that taught people to watch more carefully, to listen with their eyes. If you decide to step away for a while, we'll still be here when you return. If you decide to step away together, make it yours, not ours. If you decide to step in different directions, that's not a defeat, it's proof that the work lives beyond the packaging. And to everyone watching, tell me in the comments which moment between Gökberk Yildirim and Cemre Ardil you'll carry after the credits. Was it a glance, a line, a choice to stay when leaving would have been easier? Do you think a quiet trip is the right way to close one chapter before they open the next? What kind of story would you want to see them tackle if they reunite down the line? Something older, slower, braver? Your ideas help shape what we investigate next. Thank you so much for being here. If this breakdown helped you see the bigger picture around the finale and the whispers of what comes after, please like the video, subscribe for more thoughtful coverage, and share it with a friend who's still replaying that scene in episode 9. I'll keep tracking the signals, auditions, shortlists, festival murmurs, and I'll be back with the next chapter as soon as there's a chapter to read.